All right, so this is the lecture for extended metaphor, or sometimes what's called allegory. I'm going to introduce our unit in this video, and then we'll move into that skill of trying to unpack extended metaphor in a more deliberate way, which culminates in your assignment to read this short essay by Brian Doyle and then try to unpack one of the smaller metaphors within it. So our unit, one of our last units, is the counterpoint to this unit that we began the year with, Maybe There Is a Beast. That was the first novel unit, and it wondered, are human beings naturally good or evil? What happens when language falls down, falls apart? What drives isolation? And what is the heart of darkness? The name of a novel we almost read in this class. Our central text was Lord of the Flies. So the foil unit is this one. It is a self-crushing love. And I'm going to posit a couple of things here. I'm going to posit a couple of claims. I think that there are two ways to lose yourself, right? And there's a spectrum of how we can move towards one of those ways. Either it's maybe there is a beast, that way, where you can surrender to the power of something beastly. How will you know the power is evil? You'll be driven there by fear. And when you're accepted there, you'll be consumed. The goal will be to use you. That's what happens in Lord of the Flies. The you would be each of those boys. The only one who was really able to resist and survive just barely was Ralph, as he watched everyone around him slowly fall to the beast. But the other way to lose yourself is a self-crushing love. And you can also surrender to power there. How will you know, though, that the power is good? How will you know that that love is a good love? You will be driven there by love. And when you are there, you'll be accepted and loved. In both ways, though, I think this is important, you will lose yourself. In both cases, your heart will break. That is how you start. And I am going to assert another claim. It is a good thing to lose yourself. It is a good thing to lose your ego. But how do you do it well? How do you do it while retaining dignity and honoring the dignity of the people around you while not enabling people to be undignified or dishonoring themselves? So how do you let go of yourself, but at the same moment, rise in love? And I choose this book because I think it is an amazing illustration of that concept. And I choose this essay to start us before we start reading the book because it is one of my favorites. And I think that Brian Doyle is really keen in on that concept of the broken heart as being potentially a purifying and a sacred thing. Brian Doyle was a writer, essayist, novelist, editor. He died a few years ago. He wrote a lot of stories or short pieces, essays, poems. He wrote great lines. I'm just going to read some of them. Use real words. Real words matter. False words are lies. Lies sooner or later are crimes against the body or the soul. And then after 9/11, he wrote a great poem called Leap. And this is his comment. It is what makes me believe that we are not craven fools and charlatans to believe in God, to believe that human beings have greatness and holiness within them like seeds that open only under great fires, to believe that some unimaginable essence of who we are persists past the dissolution of what we were, to believe against such evil hourly evidence that love is why we are here. So his philosophy, you can see, is one centered in a deep faith, deep love, and it gives birth to this essay. Joyas voladores, so it means flying jewels in Spanish. The standard that we're looking at is identify and explain the function of a metaphor. And the takeaways from AP Lit are here in front of you. The first is simply, well, what is an extended metaphor? An extended metaphor is created when the comparison of a main subject and the comparison subject persists throughout the entire piece, whether that piece is a poem or an essay in this case, or even a novel. Maybe it just keeps reappearing all the way through. There's two terms that are good to know as you engage in conversation about this. There's the main subject, which is what it sounds like, the main focus of the attention of the writing, and then the comparison subject, what it's being compared to. In this piece, the main subject is very clearly the heart. He's really focused on the heart, but it shifts and changes a little bit, and you'll see that. And so the comparison subjects, what he is comparing the heart to, really gain a sort of feverish quality at the end, and I'm really curious about that in your creative analysis question. This last knowledge piece is simply that the comparisons do not focus solely on the objects themselves, but on their particular traits, qualities, characteristics. They transmit a perspective. And I love this essay to illustrate that last knowledge piece because he's talking about the heart, and he moves from talking about the heart in a physical way, its 4 chambers, the valves, the blood pumping through it, but also to all of the qualities we associate with the heart. And we just associate so many qualities with the heart. It is the most common metaphor in our language, it seems. I don't have statistics for that, but I just know I hear 1,000 different ways for what the heart can do and what the heart can be. And so the traits, the qualities, the characteristics of the heart is like this list that goes on and on and on. And that's what Brian Doyle is playing off of. Also, incidentally, it's what your grammar and craft assignment will be. I've already explained some of this. I don't need to give it away. You'll see that this is really about something else. The essay is about the heart, but it's really about something else, whatever that something else is for you. And this is your chance to explain that. So the BJD assignment is, once you get through the whole piece, I want you to reread the last paragraph. The tone changes in the last paragraph, and he does something else with his metaphors. New, smaller metaphors peek through. What are they? How do they deepen our understanding of his message? And so, of course, in answering this, you will tell us what you think his message is. And then which metaphor stops you in your tracks? Implicitly, I guess I should have added, and why? So tell me a little bit about what moment you think worth reposting and talking a little bit about. And all of this, Metaphor Speak, will launch us into what Their Eyes for Watching God is also really interested in. Right, that is all for creative analysis.